That's a good boy. Come on. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome to new and returning listeners. It is so nice to have you here. As you could see when I started the show, I was trying to get my cat to get on my lap. He's sitting right here next to me, and he's adorable. And I'd love to show him to you, but I don't know if he will cooperate. We'll see. By the way, my name is Sharon, and this is the TV Knitting Podcast, episode 84. I like how I started my episodes with regular numbers, like 81. 81 was my first, so now I know that 84 is my fourth video. 81 was my first video. Let me see. Come here, buddy. Want to come up? Come here. Come on. Want to come up and see the babies? Want to come up and see the people? Oh, he's huge. Oh, my goodness. Say hello. Kitty, 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 kitty. Oh, no. You couldn't get a good look at him, I'm sure. He's very... Yeah, he's mad at me now. He's giving me dirty looks. He must weigh about 20 pounds. He's huge. Oh my goodness, and there's cat hair flying. So, my furry co-host is down here to my left, listening and enjoying the sound of my voice. I am sure, because he really enjoys our company, Rich and I. He really loves to be with us. And yeah, you can come up. No, he's busy grooming, which is what he spends most of his day doing. All right, so let's get right to the show before the light fades. It is about 4 o'clock on Monday, President's Day, Monday afternoon, and yeah, I'm not sure the date. February 16th? I think so. I have a week off from work because we have President's Week off, which is awesome. So let's, again, get right to the show. And I'm going to start off with stitchery. So, yes, I did finish the boxy sweater and blocked it and everything. Put it on the other day. I was going to wear it for you today. Put it on the other day, and I had it on, and Rich was making fun of it. I'll tell you more about that when I wear the darn thing for you. It's lovely and cozy, and I love it. And then, as I was taking it off in the evening, I have no idea how this happened. It could be my furry co-host. But I found a hole. Bummer in the sleeve. It's right there. And it's not focusing. Let me bring it back a little. Yeah, I have a hole. So I'm thinking, how did that happen? It could be my little fuzzy co-host, because I blocked it on the bed up there, and he likes to get on the bed. Usually he doesn't get on my knits, though. Definitely couldn't be a moth. I mean, I don't think they work that quick. Then, when I was taking it off, I don't know if you, look at that hole. That hole is insane. It's huge. It's on the other sleeve. So I have one hole on each sleeve. What's that about? This one's a really big one. The other one is kind of manageable. This one... So, the good thing about it is that it's on the underside. And so you're not going to see the repair, really. And I was debating, I have a book that helps with knitted repairs that I've used in the past. But it's, I mean, if you really want to do a invisible repair, it's a lot of work. So I think I'm just going to make it work and wing it. Since this hole is kind of underneath and the other hole is not that bad. And this is such busy yarn that I don't think you're going to really see, if I'm careful, the repair. I mean, if it was right in the middle, smack in my sweater, and it was a light color that, you know, I would definitely have to consult the book. But I think I'm just gonna Kitchener it and MacGyver it together. I could rip the whole sleeve out, but I wove in the end, and I don't want to knit on this thing anymore. The only other thing I want to do to it is the neckline is rolly, which is fine. It's supposed to be that way, but it's a little bit too rolly for me. So I think I'm going to rip out 4 rows so it's less fabric here to roll, and I think it'll look better. We'll see. We'll see. So, womp womp. Can't wear this one today. I wonder if you can hear this cat grooming himself. He's so loud. He spits into his feet. It's hilarious. Do you guys have cats? He spits into his toes, and you can really hear it, him spitting. It's kind of gross. And then he cleans. They're bizarre animals. Anyway. Okay, so let's talk about more knitting. So I've been working, this is the week of mistakes, guys. Ripping. I've done a lot of ripping this week. As a matter of fact, I just ripped 4 rows out on this bad boy here. This is the, spoiler alert, Follow Your Arrow Mystery Shawl by Isolde Teague, and I'm in the process of getting it back on the bigger needle. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, look at that color. I love the light in here right now. It's giving really true colors to that. I'll bring it up closer so you can see some of the detail of the arrows. And it's going to be shaped like a long crescent. So this will be the top. It's got this really pretty border at the top. And then it's my kind of shawl. I'm really going to like it. I had to rip out 300 stitches, 4 rows of 300 stitches, 1,200 stitches. Because I don't read directions. Nope. The directions, and I blew up the chart, and the symbols for make one right and make one left, I got them confused. We were all throughout the shawl, we were making one right on the right side, starting from the right, and the left's on the left side. So when I started knitting this chart, that's what I did. I didn't check and pay attention. And yeah, they're reversed. So the make one lefts are now on the right side. The make one rights are now on the right side. Wait, make one rights are now on the left side. Yeah. So anyway, that caused ripping today of 4 rows. Not horrible. You probably wouldn't have noticed, honestly, really. But I don't know. I really love this motif, and I just want to make sure it looks the way it's supposed to look, because I've seen spoilers for it. And it's really super pretty. Got the last clue today. Yeah, today. And somebody's already done. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm sure people get it in Europe sooner than us. And someone's already finished with the shawl. Not blocking it, but pretty much finished knitting it. And I'm going to do the second clue, which is a lace detail, which I love knitting. So I know I'll really enjoy that with yarn overs and decreases. It's going to be really pretty. And this motif that I'm doing now is gorgeous. It's like this flowery motif, and it frames the flower motif beautifully. The other option was to put a knitted on border. I'm not doing that. It's going to take forever to do that. And I looked at the spoilers today, and I don't like the looks of that option as well. So I'm just going to stick with the lace. So far, I haven't really knit any lace on this that much. No, not really. It's more of a texture, which the texture is getting lost a little bit in the busy yarn because there's a lot of flecks and colors in this beautiful yarn by Wool and Vine Yarns. And this is her Private Isle colorway. Who wouldn't love a private isle, right? So it's getting lost a little bit, the texture, but that's okay. I'm fine with that. It's fine. It's going to look beautiful. When it gets blocked, I think that it'll pop a little bit more. I know that Minerva Turkey, Shannon, ripped hers entirely out because she didn't like the fabric she was getting, and she didn't like the texture. Yeah, so that's fine. I like I said, I could rip this out. I'm not going to because I think it's going to look just fine, especially with the lace border. I think it's going to look beautiful. So that's that. Except for the ripping today, I'm really happy with how it's coming out. Oh, I have something. Oh, hang on. It's right over here. Remember I showed you the blanket last week that I was working on? The different squares? I finished another square. I want to do 8 rows a night, and I'm sticking that to that pretty well. And this is the latest one. I think it came out really pretty. There it is. And it's got cables and lace. Super fun. So now I have 4 that are finished. I need to do 20. They're taking me approximately 10 to 12 days per square doing 8 rows a night. Oh, wrong bag. Here's the one I'm working on now. This one is considerably more complicated than the one I just finished. This is very cable-y. And it reminds me of like DNA. And when I finish it, you'll see more of what I'm talking about. But it's super, super pretty. I love it. I love the texture in that. So yeah. So that's that. Okay, and that is the Great American Aran Afghan pattern that was written by knitters like you and me. Everybody submitted a square, and there were prizes, and it's a beautiful, beautiful blanket. It's going to be an heirloom that I'm going to enjoy for many years to come. All right, and the third thing that I've been working on, this has been my car knitting. I've kind of put socks aside for now, although I'm going to be doing some sock knitting in March, major sock knitting in March, which you'll hear about in a future episode. But this has been my car knitting, and this is the Yowza Way-It shawl by Susan B. Anderson. And I am knitting this for a coworker who was diagnosed with cancer, and it's coming out a little more, well, it's pretty purpley. But it's basically all garter stitch. There we go. It's great car knitting. Great. I adore it for knitting in the car. You just go, and the only thing you have to do is some magic at the end, and you're good to go. It's awesome. So fun. Thank you, Susan, for such a great pattern. And hi, Susan. She left a comment on my blog. She watches my show. Thank you, Susan. You said such kind words, and I really appreciate that coming from you. Thank you so much. Love this pattern. Love. Highly recommend. And I want to knit another one for me. And I'm going to get a skein of Yowza at some point. Probably online. I can't fight the shoppers at Rhinebeck for that. No. So I'll just find a pretty one online and grab it and knit this gorgeous, gorgeous, lovely, fun shawl for myself. Okay, this brings us to Knitting Dreams. And Knitting Dreams this week is a UFO. I started this sweater last year. It's called the Hialeah by Melski. It's very beautiful, and I have it in that color too, that beautiful yellow. And the color is, I don't know the colorway name, but it's Mustache Yarns. Look at how pretty! That's beautiful. That kind of look nice on me. I look good in a buttery yellow. It's a little brighter than a buttery yellow, but it's a happy color. And I started it last spring and put it down for whatever reason. And I never picked it up, which is sad. This is the back. It's kind of tiny. I recently measured myself, and I'm a little bit bigger than the size I knit for the back. I think I knit the 35 or 36. I'm a 38. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to knit the fronts in a 38. See how that works out. Because I don't want to rip this out. It's fine. I like my sweaters with 0 ease or negative ease anyway, so that it'll be fine. I keep telling myself. So this is next, actually. As soon as I finish the Follow Your Arrow shawl, I'm going to pick this up and cast on the fronts. Because I just have the fronts to do. It's not going to be that bad to finish this. And it's so squishy. This is Mustache Yarns. I think it's Hell of a Skein. 100% superwash merino. Lovely, bouncy yarn. Wonderful to work with. So I have that. That's going to be next. And that brings, I just want to make sure my microphone's still on because it fell off last week. That brings us to the last kind of knitting segment, and that is Spotted. Spotted is where I talk about what I'm wearing. And today I'm wearing, I can't really take it off because I have my microphone clipped to it, but it's a beautiful lace kind of scarf that I knit 2 years ago, I think. We talked about it on the show. I call it my epic fail scarf. Doesn't really look like an epic fail, but oh, I don't know if you can see, but it has beautiful coordinating beads, like a gray turquoise bead. There it is. Aren't they gorgeous? Yeah, those are really pretty. And I'll show you what book it came from. It came from this book called Wrapped in Lace. Knitted Heirloom Designs from Around the World by Margaret Stove. There are some gorgeous, gorgeous patterns in this book. And this scarf that I'm wearing is the Noops and Crosses scarf. And you're not going to notice from the picture, really. But this scarf is knit in garter stitch. Did I knit it in garter stitch? No, I did not. I knit it in stockinette. But I think it's gorgeous. I think you can still see the detail of the crosses. See the little cross? Yeah, you can see the crosses. And instead of using noops, I did beads. And I thought it was going to curl the ends, but they didn't. And it's gorgeous, and I love it. Really happy with it. I knit it out of Mui, which I believe is bison. I'm sorry, I don't have the information. I'll either put it here, I'll put it in the show notes. But it's not cheap yarn. I think my husband got it for me as a gift once, or he got a gift certificate for me, and I bought it at my LYS many years ago. And I did this 2 years ago, and it goes with my sweater that I bought from, guess where? The Gap. I think this one was like $8. Anyway, okay. That brings us to spinning. And see that right back there? Looks like clown barf. I've been spinning that. So I'm almost done. I think that's only like 2 ounces back there. So I'm pretty excited about it. And look, pretty bobbins. This is going to be my signature, I think, holding my bobbins up. So it is very bright. Very bright. And I want to tone them down a lot somehow, because it really is clown barf. I mean, it's beautiful. I love it, but it's bright and it's rainbowy. I think, well, anyway, so I think I'm going to do a 3-ply. I have the last bit of it on another bobbin downstairs on my matchless. This is my woolly winder bobbin, and this is another matchless bobbin. And I think I'm just going to 3-ply them together. Easiest thing, right? And I think it'll look fine, because it'll go. I think it'll tone all the colors down together, and I'm pretty sure it'll work. You know, if it doesn't, if I apply a few yards and it looks, you know, I'll abandon it. And the other thing I thought of doing with this to kind of tone it down, was to ply it with a white. And I have this spinning UFO. It's a, I have the tag right here. I got it at the New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival last year from Steeplechase Farm, and it is a Wensleydale Cornwall blend, 50-50. I'm not sure if it's a cross or a blend, because it says they raise Wensleydale and Cornwall cross sheep. So I would think that it's a cross. It says Wensleydale Cornwall. Oh, it is a cross, because here the sheep's name is right on here, Daphne. How cute. Anyway, this is Daphne, the sheep. I didn't know that till just now. I didn't see that named till just now. And lovely to spin. I spun this all on my hitchhiker. It's right down there. And I still have another ounce of it. And I made a plying ball. And there are 2 strands together wrapped around this ball. It's a little teeny tiny tennis ball, according to Malia. I got this tip from watching her podcast. Yeah, I wound the bobbins off into this twine ball. So in order to ply it, to make a 3-ply out of clown yarn over there, I would have to undo this whole plying ball and I don't think I'm going to do that. So what I thought would be nice, and the other thing is this is a little bit thicker than this. So I thought what I could do in the final project is to do color work with Clowny and Daphne and make some sort of wrap or something. And this will definitely tone it down in the final project rather than ply them together. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I'll just do this as a 2-ply and I'll do this as a 3-ply. And everybody will be happy, I hope. So that's that. That's pretty much what I've been spinning. I'm really excited to be finished with Clowny over there because I adore it. Oh, by the way, here, I'll show you. It's so fun. I just ripped off pieces, and I would rip off, you know, like right now I'm in the middle of this one. So I would rip it off and just spin. And it's long, I'm spinning it a modified, well, it's a short backwards draw. So I'm just short backward, because if I do a long draw, I'm getting lots of slubs, and I don't want a slubby yarn. I think if I had spun this when I first got it 2 years ago at Rhinebeck, I probably would have not been as slubby. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. I really kept it so it didn't get compacted, but anyway, it's slubby if I try a long draw. So even with supported. So I'm just short. It's like a short draw. Make it go in. Short. Make it go in. And that seems to be giving me a nice even, pretty even single. Look at that yellow. It's crazy. Yeah, that's pretty even, I'd say. And I think it's going to make a great 3-ply. I'm excited. So I'm hoping to finish this by tomorrow. I'm hoping. I'm home. So maybe I can do some spinning in the morning. Finish this bad boy up. Oh God, it's so soft. Love it. This huge bit is like 2 ounces. I weighed it last night. So it's pretty fluffy. I don't know. And that's it for today. Let's see how many minutes. Okay, so I've been recording about 28 minutes, which is actually really what I always wanted to do. I don't know. I may try a bar time. Throw that in there. It won't be tonight because I'm going to be out teaching knitting tonight, but we'll see. If you don't see a bar time, we'll do it at some point. And that's basically it for the week. Keep watching. Thank you so much for you who have subscribed on iTunes and YouTube. I really appreciate it. You can find me on the internet pretty much everywhere as Stitch Mistress, except for Instagram. And on there, I am TV Knitting Stitch Mistress. So that's long but easy to remember. And join the Ravelry group. And well, yeah, and it's going to be good. So, hi everyone, I'm back. And I wanted to add another segment today because I had a question in the Ask Stitch Mistress thread in my Ravelry group. And Cozy Couch, a longtime listener and viewer, asked questions about niddy noddies. And I wanted to go over what a niddy noddy is and why you might want one, even if you're not a spinner, and why it would be useful for you, even, again, if you're not a spinner. They're very useful to spinners. I actually don't really use my niddies so much anymore because I have a Shocked Ultra Umbrella Swift, which is an amazing, amazing tool. If you spin a lot like I do, this past year I was spinning a lot, and I just invested in this Umbrella Swift, and it's incredible. And it not only winds skeins that I've spun, but it also helps me wind balls of yarn on my ball winder. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a future show. But the Niddy Noddy is a lovely, wonderful, useful tool if you are any sort of fiber artist, because you can wind skeins. And why would you want to wind a skein if you're not a spinner? Well, if you've frogged an item, you might want to wind the skein of the frogged yarn and then soak it to get the kinks out. And this is a great tool for that, because you're not going to get the tangling. I've done that before without this, and yeah, you get some tangling. So anyway, I thought I would talk a little bit about these and do a short tutorial. So this is a small niddy noddy, and I'm going to use this for the tutorial because it fits nicely into my camera frame. You'll be able to see it quite well. It will wind a 1 yard skein all the way around, and a continuous loop will be 1 yard. This bigger guy, big brother, big sister, is a 2 yard niddy noddy. I use this more often than my smaller one because it makes a nice big loop, a nice big skein. But the small one is useful for when I go to a fiber festival or a spinning class, and we have to wind off our singles after we've learned something, and we can just stick them on here. So that's why I have both sizes. I think either size would work for you. If you're winding a giant skein from a sweater you frogged, you might want the bigger one. They're available. You can get them online. The Woolery has them. I'll put some links in the show notes to places that I found them. I bought these at Rhinebeck a few years ago. So the other thing is how to use this. When I first got mine, a friend had taught me, and I instantly forgot how to do it as soon as I got home. And so I went on YouTube to find some videos, and there aren't great videos out there on how to use these. They don't go slow enough. So I'm putting one out there, and I'll put this up as a standalone video as well for those of you who don't want to go back to my episode to find this. So here we go. Let's start winding on this 1 yard niddy noddy. Now, if you look, what's nice about this niddy noddy, and this is a Kromsky niddy noddy, and what I like about this one is that it has a smooth end, and you can get your skein off. It slides right off very nicely, and it has a hooked end. And on the other side, it also has a smooth end and a hooked end. And for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to keep the hooked ends on one side and the smooth ends on the other, just for teaching purposes. You could do it the other way if you want. You could turn it. The other question CK has is, why do these tops come off and why do they turn? There's a very good reason for why they turn. is because we are not going to wind our yarns with these ends parallel to one another. We're going to have to turn the top one, in order to wind our skein. So this is how I have it set up. You could set it up this way when you learn how to do this, and I'll try and go as slow as I can to give you a really clean, clear tutorial. So I also marked them off in colors with my trusty highlighter tape. Very useful tool for knitters for charts. I wouldn't want to be knitting that GAAA blanket without that tape, because it really keeps me knowing where my place is in a chart. Okay, so what I have here is I have my hooked ends pointing to my right. And I have them marked in yellow. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this hooked end, the top, and I'm going to turn that so the hook is pointing toward my nose, pointing toward my face or my body, because you're going to be winding probably down here. Okay, so the hooked end is pointing toward my nose. The other hooked end continues to point to my right. So now, instead of being parallel, they are perpendicular. You don't forget this step, because you're going to get, it's not going to be possible or easy to wind if you don't move this end. So parallel in order to start out, to store it, and then to wind, we turn that, and I have the hooked end toward my nose. Okay. Now, if you see my hand is wrapped around the middle of the noddy, that's how I start winding. So I have a scrap ball of yarn here, Malabrigo Rios. I had made a pair of socks out of it, and it's my scrap. I'll show you the socks after if you're interested. So I have my ball of yarn with my end, and I'm going to take my end and I'm going to grab it with my left hand. And I'm right-handed, so I'm using my left hand here. Okay. Then I can drop my ball, and I just have my yarn here in my right hand. Okay, grabbing with the left, yarn in the right. Now, I start by going down. So I'm going to take my yarn, and I'm going to go down to the bottom hook, yellow. Then I'm going to go up to the top hook, yellow. Then I'm going to kind of turn it. See how I did that? Up to top. Then I kind of turn it and go down to pink, smooth end, up to pink, smooth end. I've just done my first revolution. All you have to do now, once you get the first one done, is to just keep following. So now, following the same path that you started. So now I'm going to go down again, yellow, yellow, pink, pink, yellow, yellow, pink, pink, hook, hook, smooth, smooth, hook, hook, smooth, smooth, hook, hook, smooth, smooth, hook, hook, smooth, smooth, and so on. My arm's getting really tired. Okay, so that's it. That's all there is to it as far as winding. Now, when you're done winding, it'll stay on here pretty well. And you're going to tie this. Now, this one, since it's so short, you really only need one tie. So for each strand, you would put 1 tie. And then if you have a longer one, what I'll do is I'll put 2 ties. So a tie here, a tie here, a tie here, a tie here, and so on. So I would have 8 ties in a long 2-yard skein. And that keeps it really nice and stable for when you wash it, and then it's not going to tangle up, when the water hits it. So yeah, that's it, guys. If you have any questions, just put a message in the Ravelry group, or you can PM me on Ravelry. Like the video if you like the tutorial. After you wash these, by the way, hang your skein on a towel rack or a drying rack or of some kind. Do not weight it. I would not recommend you weight your skein, even though you might have some crinkles left. If you weigh it, it's just going to stretch out your yarn, and I don't think that's really desirable. What you can do when the skein is wet, I don't think I have a skein here I can do it with, oh yeah, I do. Hang on one second. I'm just going to walk away from the camera, and I have a skein over here. So if you have a wet skein, see, this was not done on a Niddy Noddy. It was done on my Shocked Umbrella Swift. What you can do when it's wet and it comes out, you can snap it and stretch it. Just snap it like that and stretch it out, and some of the kinks will come out that way. Just snap it, then hang, just like that. And your yarn will be very easy to knit or store in any way that you see fit. Here, you want to see my socks? These are worsted weight socks, nice and warm. And I have them on the blocker so I could take a picture, which I haven't done yet. These actually are a sample that I made for the knitting store, so I need to give them back. But it's cold and I want to wear them. Anyway, thanks for watching, and again, like this video if you found it useful, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye-bye.